Hello and welcome to Nutshell Recaps. This video explains the synopsis of the movie Knock at the Cabin. Warning, there will be spoilers, so proceed with caution. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, it will really help our channel grow. In the opening scene of the film, Wen, age 7, is on holiday with her parents, Eric and Andrew, at their secluded cabin in a rural Pennsylvania area. Wen is approached by Leonard while she is collecting grasshoppers. Leonard responds that he is here to be her friend when Wen says she doesn't speak to strangers. In order to earn her confidence, he helps her catch grasshoppers. After that, he asks her some questions, but it's clear that he's also a little concerned. When she asks why, he replies that it is because of what he has to do today. He then goes on to say that his heart is shattered. 3 more individuals with makeshift weapons only then show up, and Leonard instructs the woman to remain calm no matter what. She should keep in mind that he is her buddy. He informs her that she and her dads will need to make some difficult choices when she begins to act suspicious and leave the area. He claims that she must inform her dads to let her in if they won't. Otherwise, they will have to make their own entrance. She runs to her dad's house and orders them to enter immediately because there are unsettling outsiders who want to enter. She responds that there were 4 of them when they urge her to calm down. Leonard is the major player, and he demands that they aid the others. At that point, there are 7 taps on the door. Leonard answers, "I'm here with my friends," and asks them to open the door. They are here to attempt to save a large number of people. And when Eric says they would prefer to be left alone, he responds that they can't do anything without them. There is no dial tone when Andrew attempts to call the police. When they finally refuse to open the door despite repeated requests, they attempt to break into the house, and Sabrina unintentionally knocks Eric out in self-defense. Redmond challenges Andrew to stop after he attempts to battle him and defeats him when Adriana and Leonard also enter the home. Leonard then informs them that they are there to stop the end of the world as they bind them both to chairs. They need their assistance in order to prevent it, though. In response to Leonard's statement that their family must decide to voluntarily sacrifice one of the 3 of them in order to avert the end of the world, Eric replies that he is experiencing some sort of psychological break. The world will end if they are unable to make this impossible choice or carry out the sacrifice. They must then murder the person they have chosen. The 3 will survive and be left alone to wander the devastated world while humanity perishes. Leonard responds to Andrew's claim that they are not picking and sacrificing anyone by explaining that they have all been shown precisely what will happen if they decide not to make a sacrifice. They don't know why they were chosen, but those images brought them together and brought them right here to this cabin. He predicts that the world will be enveloped in darkness, the sky will descend, the oceans will rise, and a pandemic will spread. Eric and Andrew believe the group is lying and that the assault is being carried out for ill will and delusion. Leonard, however, asserts that a plague brought on by human sins will be unleashed for each no they offer them. Redmond then kneels down and requests that they continue to gaze at him before draping a cloth over his head. They beat him to death with their weapons after he states that a portion of humanity has been judged, and Leonard then beheads him. They were all too frightened by this point, and Leonard and Adrienne dragged his corpse outside while Sabrina mopped up the blood on the floor. Then Leonard returns and switches the TV to a news report that features devastating mega tsunamis, which Leonard proclaims to be the start of the end of the world. Then, after viewing the recent Cannon Beach video, Adrienne and Sabrina claim that this is what their dreams depicted. Leonard then tells them to choose to make a commitment and save the world the following morning as Sabrina turns off the TV. In a later conversation, Andrew admits to Eric that he believes they have been scheduling everything and that he just doesn't want Eric to be scared or anything. Wen, meanwhile, escapes the house and flees into the forests, but Leonard catches up to her and returns her to the cabin. Andrew recognizes Redmond and thinks that he is Rory O'Bannon, a homophobe who assaulted him in a bar the previous year and was imprisoned as a result. Andrew believes Rory found him in an effort to exact vengeance. While debating their guilt and challenging Andrew's assumption, Leonard, Sabrina, and Adrian continue to hang on to their visions. The following day, when Leonard urgently requests their choices, Eric is seen attempting to cut his rope with a knife. Eric is informed by Adrian that she will be the next to perish and that she is depending on him. Eric responds by saying she is free to leave at any time with no repercussions. He learns that Adrian has a son and that she has had to repeatedly witness him die over the past few days. So, trust her when she says that this is actually taking place. Despite Andrew's request for them to cease speaking to Eric, they refuse to comply. They kill and sacrifice Adrian as she states that a portion of humanity has been judged while sitting there on her knees with a cloth covering her head. So that they won't have to see her, Leonard moves her corpse to another room. They then turn on the TV and watch a report about the novel X9 virus outbreak, which is proving especially deadly for young people. Eric tells Andrew that he thinks he saw a person or a figure. Leonard asks him, where'd he saw it? To which he says in the light behind him. When he was standing behind Redmond, right behind he struck him. Andrew tries to explain to him that they are under extreme stress and asks him to breathe deeply. After that, he claims that after reading about these X9 instances, it is not a plague. They were all aware of the pre-planned performance before they arrived and purposefully incorporated it into their stories. Then he instructs them to stop speaking to Eric moving forward. Wen didn't start shrieking until after that, demanding to see her cartoon immediately. Eric takes advantage of the chance and frees himself to try to attack them after Leonard tries to calm her down, but she persists. In the meantime, Andrew is also freed and moves to get to his vehicle, but Sabrina strikes him in the knee and claims she did it to stop him from running away. When she attempts to get Andrew out of the car, he shoots her and orders her to drop her weapon and back up, and she flees into the woods. Andrew then throws dirt in her eyes and locks himself inside his car to get the gun. When Andrew eventually makes it back to the house, he orders Leonard to put down the gun and back away from Eric. He responds that he is taking his family and leaving after Leonard asks him if he is ready to make a decision after telling him that he is dooming them all and that it's time for the next sacrifice. Only then does Sabrina arrive, sprinting in his direction, but he shoots and kills her. If they are ready to make a sacrifice, Leonard asks them after placing a cloth over her head. And after Andrew rejects him, Leonard cuts off her head. When Andrew leaves the house to check Redmond's wallet, he presents Leonard with his ID to demonstrate him that he is, in fact, Rory. He plans to lock him in the toilet because he claims he is not a murderer like them. He explains to Eric that although they must have arrived in a truck because they tore their tires, and recommends that they use it as cover. Then Eric and Andrew lock Leonard in the restroom, but it's not until then that they hear glass cracking, leading them to believe he broke out by smashing the window. When Andrew checks the restroom door and discovers no one there, he charges him from behind the curtain, overwhelms him, and takes his gun. When Eric switches on the TV, the broadcast shows spontaneous plane crashes happening all over the globe. He then asks Andrew to turn on the TV if he wants to be convinced. Eric comments, "The skies will fall and crash to the ground like pieces of glass," upon seeing this. The reporter continues by stating that they have proof that up to 700 airplanes have crashed without notice. Andrew claims that he is leaving the area with his family even after seeing all of this, but Eric questions whether he truly believes that everything that occurred today was just a coincidence. He responds, yes, meaning that it must be a ruse. Leonard then requests that they exit onto the back veranda, as he desires to complete the final step outside. Then, after warning them that they only have a short time to put an end to their actions before he passes away, he cuts his own neck and declares that all of humanity has been judged. When he dies, lightning starts fires and more planes crash. Eric now thinks that the incident actually happened, and that a person was visible in the light. All three of them should now depart, according to Andrew, who claims that he believes him. However, according to Eric, this wasn't a house invasion. Instead, they came here to spend time with them and get to know them. They serve as a reminder of everything that is human. Redmond ill will. Adrian is maternal. Healing, Leonard's direction, and Sabrina. They were the apocalyptic four riders. Now Eric offers himself as the sacrifice, because he doesn't want Wen to grow up in a society that has been destroyed. He admits that he saw visions of Andrew and a mature Wen during Redmond's sacrifice. Eric believes that their family was selected because of their unadulterated love to make the sacrifice. Andrew kills Eric with reluctance. After that, he visits Wen at her tree house and she asks him if Daddy Eric rescued everyone. They both witness the house catching fire after being struck by lightning. Finding the visitor's truck, Andrew and Wen then take a short journey to a busy diner nearby to watch news broadcasts indicating that the disasters have subsided. The tune Eric had played for them on their drive to the cabin, Boogie Shoes by KC and the Sunshine Band, is now playing on the radio as we get back into the truck.